welcome back to my channel. I am Amanda from Amanda Around the Globe, and today I am so excited to do my January budget video. I've been waiting all month for this month to end so that I could do this video. I'm so excited about this series, and I'm so excited to see like the progress of paying off my debt, starting a budget, and getting like financially savvy. Quick note, this is my new spare room. We still have some work to do in here, but this is where I'm going to be filming from now on. I'm very, very excited about it. A lot of plants everywhere, so get used to that. This room isn't done yet, but it is a work in progress. Okay, so today is my January budget video. If you guys haven't seen my previous budget video from December, I'll link that one down below. You guys can watch it afterwards. I am going to make a playlist of all my budget videos, so in like a year from now there will be a ton of them on there and you guys can go look at all of my budgets, which I think will be very cool. But for now, I'm just gonna give you guys a quick disclaimer. If you guys haven't seen my previous videos in this series, I am new to budgeting. I'm trying to figure it out, and so at the moment I don't currently have a budget that I work around. I'm more just tracking my spending and seeing how I do and what I'm actually spending money on and how much I'm spending in different categories. In January, I've made some changes to my budget. The changes that I've made to my budget, I'm going to show you as I go through it. So let's just start off with my salary. This month, I used my annual leave to top up my salary. I made $3,447 this month. I'm still working part-time, but because I used my annual leave to top up my pay for a couple of weeks, that increased my pay. So we have something good. I did make $156 from YouTube last month, which is like just under $10 more than what I made in December, but that's on the up, which is good. And then my mom and my dad gave me $200 into my US bank account for a Christmas present. Income is something that I really want to work on this year. Then we can go to expenses. I've started this new category for giving. I should have had it last month, but because I changed banks, it didn't work properly. For giving, I put $30 toward the World Wildlife Foundation. I think I mentioned this in my last video. It's just a direct debit, it comes out every month. I sponsor a koala. For rent, Michael is still paying all of our rent, which is helping me so much. Hopefully at the end of March, my company said that they would make us all full-time. I'm not sure if that's gonna still happen, but that was the previous message. My car insurance is roughly $700 a year, and then registration and CTP is over $1,000. So these are things that I would ideally like to save for, but the more I look at saving versus paying off my debt, the more I realize it might just be worth it to pay off as much of my debt as possible, and then when those things come up, I just have a lower credit card repayment that month. I think that's just the way I'm gonna do it. At this time, I'd rather just throw all my money toward my debt, so I haven't put any money into savings for that. We'll see how we go with that. For my phone bill, it's $30 a month. For gas, I actually filled up my car twice this month, which I kind of thought I'd have to do because I have been going to IKEA all the time. I think IKEA was the killer there with the gas. But I filled up at the beginning of the month, and then I generally fill up every 3 weeks, so it kind of worked out where I had to fill up twice this month. And then electricity is going to be a big one in February. So groceries, I put $150 toward Michael's and I do not know how to say that, toward mine and Michael's groceries for every week. I did go over on 1 week because it's really hard to pay only $150 for groceries for 2 people. I find it to be such a struggle, especially since Michael and I eat really different diets. So like I eat vegan and Michael he doesn't eat meat, but he eats a lot of fish, so he gets a lot of like tuna and salmon. And because we're both buying 2 different kinds of food, and then we also include cleaning things, and that went over once. Whoops. So that's fine. I'm not really that bothered by that. Personal spending, I went a bit crazy this month, but I have given myself kind of like a little gift. So for my personal spending, I had to buy a mask. I did treat myself halfway through the month with a new plant. Got a chain of hearts, which is a plant that was on my wish list for literally a year, and it was a really small one. I have no regrets about that. And then I've been trying to read more, so that was one of my New Year's resolutions. And so buying books, my plan with the books is that I'll buy a book when it's not at the library and it's something that I really want, and then I don't buy another book until I finish reading that book. So I bought one fiction book by Jane Harper, who is an Australian author who I really love, and I read that really quickly. It was amazing. And then I bought a finance book, which I'm really excited about, but this thing is a beast. I bought this book. It's called The Intelligent Investor, and it was originally written in like 1920 or something, and they have some like updated notes at the end of every chapter. Look how thick this thing is. It's 610 pages, and it's not really easy reading, so that's going to take me a while to get through that one. Then at the bottom of my personal spending, you'll see that I spent $242 on a financial advisor. So I have some news. I've been waiting to get my visa approved, and then I knew that once I got my visa approved, I would want to see a financial advisor. So the news is I got my partner visa approved. I can stay in Australia. I'm not going to get deported. I don't have to worry about my visa getting approved, but also I've got my temporary and my permanent visa approved. So I'm now actually a permanent resident. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to do a separate video like with the complete information about my partner visa, because a lot of people ask me about that. So that will be coming up shortly. But because I'm now a permanent resident, I have the ability to get Australian financing. So I want to talk to a financial advisor about different options, because as I've said in every single one of these videos, my debt is in US dollars and I currently live and work in Australia, so I'm making Australian dollars. I want to talk to someone who knows what they're talking about these subjects, and I am so excited about it. So excited about it. Like, I can't even contain my excitement. I'm such a nerd. The reason why I'm doing this budget is to track my spending in different categories, and I realized that the categories on the sheet were not plentiful enough for me. Like, they weren't specific enough. Personal spending is a very broad category, and that's where I was putting like all of my spending pretty much, and I want to have more categories. So I broke this down into categories that I actually spend money on regularly. The clothing category, there's never anything in there. I really don't buy clothes that often. And then I changed the restaurant category to food out, because I don't really spend money at restaurants so much as I like go and buy snacks and stuff at work. So that's something that I wanted to track, is just how much I spend like on food when I'm out that I don't really need to. Came out to $68.86 for a month. I think that's not too bad, because like generally these are things that I really enjoy. I put another section for alcohol, just like I don't really spend that much money on alcohol generally. I spent a lot more money this month on alcohol than usual, because we have a balcony that overlooks the city, and I've really been liking like having a glass of rosé, watching the sunset with Michael at the end of the day. It's just a lovely way to end the day. So when the weather's nice, sometimes I'll do that. And then I also added a section for skincare, because I love skincare and I want skincare to actually be a section of my budget, like its own section. And I want to know how much I'm spending on skincare a month so I can add that into my actual budget overall. So I've added all of those things on here and then just put the budgets on there, so that I know actually how much I'm spending in each category. So I'm really excited for this part moving forward. I've noticed myself getting a lot tighter with money as time goes on, as I like continue this budgeting journey. I've become very tight. Like at the beginning of the month, I was a bit more flexible with spending, and now in the last like week or two, I've just been really focused on paying off this debt. So I'm excited to get further down here to show you guys what I've spent. Okay, yeah, side note, we did move this month. Moved at the beginning of January. I had money saved up for moving expenses, but Michael and I decided the way that we would do it is, he makes a lot more than me and he's able to save up faster. He had a lot more in savings than I did. So Michael paid for the more expensive things. I paid for the more like cheaper things like IKEA and Target runs. and then we just split everything, and I'm going to pay him back after I pay off my debt for the parts that I still owe him. So he's just kind of given me like a loan-ish, which is good that I don't have to pay him back right away, because that would make it very difficult for me to pay off my debt as quickly. But now, after I pay off my debt, I just owe Michael some money. I didn't update this. I have this moving section. I put this other little thing right here. I just put it on this one because I'm obviously not really going to need it in the future. We do still need a few things for our house that we will have to spend money on, but it's not going to be as big as these things. So the total that we spent is about $6,000. And so I owe Michael half of that, which is this amount, which is 074 equals 074. So altogether, I spent more money this month than I made. What are you gonna do? That's fine. I knew that was gonna happen because I spent a lot of my savings that I had saved for moving. So that was planned, that's fine. This, I honestly, I do not know if this is right. I can tell you that's not right. I'm having a hard time figuring out what I'm putting into savings because I transfer money so much. I like change my mind halfway through the month, and I transferred so many of my different savings funds into my debt repayments because I just really want this debt to be gone. So I actually didn't put very much money into savings this month at all. I want to prioritize this debt and get it out of my life. So yeah, I didn't really put any money into savings this month. My emergency fund is something that I'm still working on though, because I really want my emergency fund to be at $2,000 so that if something happens, I have money to pay for it. When I first started paying off my debt, my car broke down and it cost me $1,500, and it was something that I couldn't not fix. Like, my car was literally not running. So I don't want something like that to happen again and me to have to use my credit card to pay for it, because that would defeat the whole purpose of putting so much money toward my credit card. So for me, a comfortable emergency fund is $2,000 while I pay off my debt, and then once I pay off my debt, we're gonna start a whole nother ball game. But for now, $2,000 is my goal, and I have some other things that I've changed on the sheet for moving forward. But yeah, so I am only putting money into my emergency fund and debt repayments at the moment. I have not put any money into savings for anything else. And then I do still do raise investing. I do that just because I want to get into the habit of investing. It's really small, but to me, it keeps me kind of excited, and that's kind of my fun money that I want to use for something that I really am excited about. And micro investing is pretty much the only kind of investing that I can afford at the moment, so it's just something for me to be happy about. Okay, now the exciting part. So for my credit card, my amount that I owed at the beginning of this month was $12,028, and I have paid off a total of $2,414 this month. Okay, so the way that I did this is I've been super strict with my money. I didn't put any money in savings, as I said, and I paid off the amount that I had planned to pay off at the middle of the month because my credit card's due on the 16th. And then I've decided to change my method, and I've now put the money that I had saved this month toward my credit card. So I usually I pay off my card on the 16th, which is when it's due, and then I save for another month and then pay it off on the next month on the 16th. But I think what I would like to do is just start paying it off at the end of the month. So my statement will already be due, and I will just pay it off, all the money that I have at the end of the month, I'll pay it off, which just makes it easier to manage my budget, because otherwise I have money that I've paid off and then I have money in savings to use it to pay off. So I've paid off basically 6 weeks of savings for my credit card, and I'm now under $10,000, which is so exciting. So I put my payment, this is the Australian dollars that I paid toward that, and then as I said at the beginning of this video, I had some US dollars that I used toward it as well. And then I made a little note on here of how I got this much money, because this is not usual for me. I don't usually have $2,414 to pay off toward my credit card. So this is gonna be like not a normal payment, but I'm really, really excited that it's under $10,000. As soon as I started paying off my debt, I decided that I would get myself a little reward once I get it under 10,000, because it's not halfway yet, but it seems like a big step. So I've gotten myself a reward, which you guys will see. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you guys want me to make a little video about what my rewards are, and or I'll just tell you guys in the next video, because you'll see it in my budget. But I've also made a little note here that I need to pay at least 1,400 Australian dollars per month to be able to pay this debt off this year. So as long as I can scrounge up $1,400 a month, then I can actually pay it off this year, which is this is like my big goal, and I don't know if it's going to be possible. It really depends on my salary and if I get made full-time when I'm planning to. So okay, so that's everything. This section I am changing around for next month, so that will be different next month. And that's my whole budget for January. So that's everything that I spent, everything that I saved, everything that, like, how much I paid off toward my credit card debt. And yeah, this video is so long right now, so I'm gonna end it. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know in the comments below if you're liking this series and what kind of finance videos you guys want to see next. And I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!